And to talk more about the politics, our President Biden, he was asked, go ahead and put this up on the screen, about whether or not he plans to visit Ohio. He says, no, we're doing all we can. That is a lie. They are not doing all they can. I mean, that's just demonstrably false. One thing they could be doing is giving these people Medicare for life, as they did in Libby, Montana. There's a provision in Obamacare that would allow them to do exactly that. They are not talking about doing that whatsoever, even as, you know, researchers are saying, hey, this could have long-term effects, and these are known carcinogens. So down the road, 10 years from now, when suddenly you've got a cancer cluster in this area, and everyone's denying, oh, it has nothing to do with this, it has nothing to do with this, the very least is you could have these people make sure that they have decent health care and are able to get the treatment that they deserve. You also have Pete continuing to cover himself in glory. He did ultimately, much belatedly, decide to actually go to Ohio under great pressure from Republicans, but also from some Democrats. Let's take a listen to a little bit of what he had to say.
In retrospect, should you have come a little sooner?
So, again, in terms of the timing of the visit, I'm trying to strike the right balance, allowing NTSB to play its role, but making sure we're here in that show of support. But also, Norfolk Southern and the other freight rail companies need to stop fighting us every time we try to do a regulation in order to hold them accountable and their other railroad companies accountable for their safety record. And what we've seen is industry goes to Washington and they get their way. They got their way on the ECP rule. They got their way on a Christmas tree of regulatory changes that the last administration made on its way out the door in December of 2020.
Guess what, dude? You are in charge. You can tell them no when they come to Washington. I mean, the learned helplessness, the feigned helplessness of Biden and Pete, not just on this issue, but on so many issues. I mean, we see it with the airlines too. I'm going to send a letter. Dude, you have power. You are running this agency. If you wanted to change and roll back those Trump regulations, if they were so bad, you all are in charge now. You could do that. But you didn't, and you still aren't. You sent another strongly worded letter to Norfolk Southern. Congratulations. Way to go.
You know, with Biden, too, I'm just mystified as to why he won't go. I think it must be because he doesn't want to validate the Trump criticism.
I think that's exactly it.
He's like, I'm willing to go to Kyiv. He should come back from Ukraine. He should come visit Ohio. So now he's the one who's actually playing and making this political because he doesn't want to appear weak to the fact that he was literally abroad doling out billions of dollars to Ukraine whenever somebody at home might have needed him. And he says, oh, we're doing everything that we can. With Pete, too, I mean, what a horrific and massive failure. I've come around to the fact that I think Pete is just fundamentally lazy. Like, when you put together his entire tenure of office, his fake paternity leave for literally months, much longer than actual working mothers get, who literally suffer the trauma of giving birth, you have that. Number two is the FAA nightmare, the collapse of the airline industry under his watch, eventually righting itself with no real help from the administration. The Southwest Airlines debacle, of which he did absolutely nothing. And now you have East Palestine, of which he's last. The former president of the United States, who literally lives in Mar-a-Lago, is able to get there before he is. And it's a joke. And then at the entire time, he's lashing out at the media. Also, funnily enough, Krystal, he's been planting all these stories saying Buttigieg has been taking a lot of bullets for Biden on East Palestine.
Oh,
really?
God.
Because I'm pretty sure you're taking bullets for not doing your job and for not having the immediacy that a secretary is supposed to have in this situation. I saw a hilarious reader comment which just said, do you know how bad of a Secretary of Transportation you have to be for people to know the Secretary of Transportation? Nobody knows who the Secretary. During Elaine, the only reason anybody knew her name at that time was because she's the wife of Mitch McConnell. Not because of anything. To the extent that she ever made news is because she was corrupt in helping her Chinese oligarch or Taiwanese oligarch father who has ties to the CCP. Before that, I don't even remember the name of the Secretary of Transportation under President Obama. I'm sure if you told me it, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's right.
That dude,
Under President, what was it? Under President Clinton, same thing. I could not tell you. So, under Bush, the only reason I could tell you is because Elaine Chao also served in that position while she was there.
Well, and the irony is, I mean, this guy, I'm looking up Obama Secretary. Ray LaHood.
There you go. See,
there you go.
Yeah, he was a congressman. I think he was Louisiana.
We also had Anthony Fox maybe in there for a while. Yeah. Anyway, look, Pete wanted to use this position as a launching pad for his presidential and other political ambitions. And, you know, as the fates would have it, the Secretary of Transportation actually ended up being a really critical position, and he had every opportunity to rise through the challenge and to be a hero right now. Instead, he is a total joke. He's a failure. He's an embarrassment. And he's even taken some fire, astonishingly, from people on his own side of the aisle and from a few lonely voices in the media who have criticized him as well. So, no, it's been a complete disaster. And the way that he pretends like there's nothing he can do is so embarrassing and so insulting. It's insane. I also think the other reason why Biden's not going to go to Ohio is because Ohio's a red state now. Not that long ago, Ohio was not a red state. In fact, when he was running for vice president on the Obama ticket, Ohio was not a red state. But they've given up on it, and so they don't really care that much. I mean, I think that's really the bottom line. They're more interested in, if this happened in Georgia, if it happened in Arizona, and one of the up-and-coming places, or one of the places like Michigan that they're still holding on to, maybe there would be a different response. But because it's Ohio and they've written off Ohio as unwinnable and full of quote-unquote deplorables, well, I guess we'll just send Pete 3 weeks later and have him flounder around and hope that everybody moves on.
Shouldn't matter that it's a Trump plus 70 town.
Of course.
But, of course it does matter. And Trump, how do you think Ohio became red? Like, that's the question. How did Ohio, did he win it twice, I believe? Obama won it twice?
No, so Ohio, yeah. Obama won it. Did
Right.
he win it the second time around? I'm pretty sure. Yes, 100% he did.
Yeah.
Because that was the famous Megyn Kelly.
That's right.
Remember when she was like,
Tioga
is this
County.
real math or math you do when you're a Republican to make
There you
yourself feel better? Yeah.
Right. So Barack Obama won it twice. It was a battleground state. 2004 with Bush, there was a lot of consternation about that. 2000, it was also a battleground state, had been for quite a long time. And then in a single political generation, which almost never happens, a state goes full red. How did that happen? Well, it's exactly because of stuff like this. I could bet you that all the people that are there, they will remember that Donald Trump came to the state of Ohio. And, I think that will resonate significantly, specifically amongst the white working class populations that Trump was able to swing so red all across the industrial Midwest, who are just like the towns of Liverpool, Ohio that you're talking about.
This congressional district in 2016, I'm talking about this in my monologue, so I have the stats fresh in my head, swung 30 points to Donald Trump in 2016. It was the biggest swing in the entire country. Prior to this era, Democrats used to win this congressional district. Charlie Wilson, Ted Strickland.
Yes.
That was the member of Congress for this district.
Wow.
So it is recent history that this has swung so hard and so fast to the right. Ask yourself why. I'll save my rant on this for in my monologue, but this incident definitely reveals exactly why these populations have moved to the right. And because, bottom line is they feel abandoned by Democrats, and I can't really blame them when you look at all of this unfolding.
Very true.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.